Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's been a while. What's it been? Another week or so? I've definitely not fallen off the map. I haven't stopped doing what I'm doing. Um, Things getting kind of crazy. Year end at my main job, and we're closing things out. We're keeping things going. We're working on a level that has not been done before, in my opinion. I love it. I love what I do every day for a living. I work at a company that does about $6 million in revenue. I play a part in at least half of that as far as generating the income, getting the contracts. So that's an amazing feeling. It's an accomplishment to come from like 3 failed attempts at college, not because I couldn't do it. It just bored me to death. Like, I'm an intro to college. This is not challenging my brain. What is happening? I don't even know what I want to do. I was so lost at that time. And to come back from that, literally, it feels amazing. It feels amazing to get to this point. And on top of that, even though I have this amazing opportunity for this business, I mean, I've put the work in to see what the price tag really is, what the transitional period really looks like, and this is a tremendous amount of work just to grasp what is going on here. So I'm really happy about the side things I have going, because I do not want to be a slave to one idea my whole life, even though this thing could pay me ridiculous amounts of money and provide me with so much pride and sense of accomplishment. This work that I do in construction, in concrete, aggregate supply, all of that. I mean, it's deeply rewarding to me to do. But when I've got into the side stuff, I use the things that I do, or the things that I'm working on, every day in a different manner. As far as breaking down information, understanding performance and workflow, understanding all the conditions, all the risks, understanding problems. Like, this is what I do, and it's afforded me that, on top of just years of soul searching, feeling in the depths of the bottom of everything, to rise back up and really try to understand what it means to be a human being in this lifetime, and take ownership of my destiny and what I stand for and represent. And I really want people to be able to understand, and this is my thing that I want to give. This is my providing value. Providing value, that is my favorite idea that's out there. Provide value to your fellow man. You do that, and your value will get recognized in society. You will make money, you will draw in, because you're providing that much value to those around you. We are social creatures, and that's what that means. It does not mean getting out and getting social and having conversations, exactly. That's not it. It's providing value to all of the people that you interact with, providing something of value for them in their life to help them grow and be successful. So I've really started at the basics of life of a human being in today's day and age. That's where I started. It's like, what areas are the most difficult, complex ideas that every person in the world has to go through? You don't have to, but come on. Every person's going to end up, likely, not every, don't overgeneralize, but own a vehicle. What are the things that go into vehicle ownership? What paperwork do you have to have? From purchase to sale, the life cycle, your cost to operate this automobile and own it. That's like one product out of, I think I'm up to 20 or 30, but I have 6 or 7 solid drafts right now of products that I really believe are going to be my bread and butter, my contribution to society. Anybody that wants to get in control of their life, my grand goal with my products is anxiety reduction. Okay? I want to teach you how to have a relationship with money, how to have a relationship with major physical assets that you're going to come in contact with. Act right, act accordingly, don't stress yourself out more than you need to. So in a vehicle, how do you manage a vehicle? Okay? You've got the description of the vehicle, the vehicle you want, the vehicle you have, the purchase of the vehicle, from all the information from what you paid, who you bought it from, what the title number is, the VIN number, if you traded something in on that, all that stuff, what you paid, and then what the likely depreciation value is. So say I buy a vehicle for $20,000 every year at a certain rate, that vehicle is going to be worth less money every year. That's called depreciation. So that's going to go into your cost of owning a vehicle. And it's not something we regularly consider. We consider what our payment's going to be. We know what our payment is going to be if we're borrowing money to pay for this vehicle and not out of our own pocket. But depreciation, what this value is, this object, vehicle, it's very common, not even just common, but the norm for something that's driven to lose value year after year. Terrible investment, absolute necessity. You need to have a vehicle to move from all the places in your community amongst each other. You know, that's the nature of the modern human being. They travel in vehicles, okay? And they like to do it in style when they can. It's a vital part of being human. So those things decrease, you know, they can decrease at a rate of 10% to 15% per year. So you buy a vehicle, so if there was a 10% depreciation rate, you would have a $20,000 vehicle every year. It would decrease by 10%. So year one, $20,000, and then it's going to decrease by 10%. So $20,000 vehicle, lost $2,000, is worth $18,000. Another 10% on that the year after. So what the product does is basically outlines for the life of the vehicle, the likely life. How long are you going to own a vehicle? What's the max? 10 years is a while. 15 years? If you're owning something for more than 15 years, you are shooting for having a collector, okay? Let's just be honest. So if you go to 15 years, you're going to give a complete representation of what you could sell this for if you hold it for X amount of years. Really get an understanding for what vehicles cost to own. You need a place for your bill of sale. You need a place for, you know, if you bought it from a dealer, there's definitely like a lengthier purchase summary. You paid more fees for bull crap at the dealer than you would from buying it from Joe Blow on the street. It's like, here, I sell this as is, where is for X. You know, you're going to have a little more, you know, warranties and title fees. And I mean, you're going to pay title fees anyway. But so anyway, that document, your title application originally, your actual vehicle title. Like you have this in a binder at your fingertips whenever you want it. Keep this in your, you know, the right place. But so you have all the purchase information, what you paid for this thing. You never have to look anywhere else for that information ever again. You have it right here. You have your title ready for when you want to sell your vehicle. And then if you did financing, all the information on the financing as far as what your finance percent is, who you finance through, when the payment is due, what the late fee is, what the payment amount is, what the expected payoff date is, what your actual payoff date is, what your weekly, monthly, and annual payments are. So much information. And the picture. You get your picture in there of your vehicle. It's awesome. Then your lending agreement you're going to get from whoever you purchase your vehicle from. It's right in the financing section. Look under financing, you get all your financing information. Then you have your finance contract. If you got suckered into gap insurance, you've got that document to put in there. Insurance, full breakdown, custom for your coverage, your policy number, who you have coverage through, account name and password, so you could actually create a reasonable password and not just using something that you're not going to forget and making it super easy for people. That's common. I know we all do it. If we don't have a little book of passwords that we put in a safe, then you create something you're going to remember, okay? You're not going to do like XT3ZVUN2347B capital C, because you are never going to remember that. Never, unless you have it written down and you have like this little secret, thing in your wallet that has all your passcodes, and you got to look at it every time. You're not going to make it that complicated. You got to, go with the times. Anyway, insurance ID cards, your contract for your insurance, your renewal summary. Then you actually know what your coverage is. I mean, be aware. Most people can't tell you what they have for auto coverage. I can't even yet, because I haven't looked at it enough. But this is a reference. Like, if I'm like, what coverage do I actually have? Dude, I don't want to spend an hour looking on my insurance website for what I got for coverage. But if I'm like, okay, anything I need to know about my vehicle, I'm just going to go grab this vehicle manager. And I have anything at my fingertips anytime I want. That is my goal. Take all the information that's out there in these key areas of your life, put it all in one spot, so when you want to focus on vehicle ownership, home ownership, personal budget, your children and their schedules and all the crazy expenses with kids, if you want to focus on, what else do I have? There's so many things that are key to being a human being. Managing your work life, managing if you want to start a little side business, managing, anything, your hobby, all of these things. If you put all the information associated with those in one key spot, you won't believe the amount of growth you can achieve. Because by building the foundation with information you pull in, like at first, if you don't know a lot about it, you're going to be like, okay, I need to learn this about this thing before I can even do it. Like, I want to get into this, okay? So you start pulling information, generally from the internet. So if you take that information and you print it off and you put it in a section in your binder about this particular hobby or thing you want to do or thing you want to know, and you put it in there, and then you start building on that, and you have this wide representation, and then you start doing this and getting experience and taking notes on how this has gone and how you think you could do it better. You can build. You're building a physical record of this area of life, okay? And this can go so far in so many applications, so many different areas. It will blow your mind at the amount of success you can achieve. And the funniest part about this is hilarious to me. I was watching a show. Was it Netflix? Was it Amazon? I don't recall. I'm sorry. The Last Kingdom. It was awesome. It was about back when the Vikings, when the Nordic people were invading England, looking for places to take over, to raise crops, whatever. They were really coming in, and you had this one king that wanted to have one kingdom for England, and he just started, and he was kind of frail and weak, but he was very intelligent, and he started to write everything down. He was writing history. He was writing the chronicle. He literally recorded everything about everything. building that kind of foundation and building on it, you will not believe the power that you can achieve with that. That is the basis for everything that I'm doing. I'm taking major areas of people's lives that people need to control and putting it in one location so you can achieve the understanding of it, make a plan about it, and do the best that it's possible, and all the while knowing like you completely understand this aspect of your life. If you wanted to reduce the cost of this area of your life, you would understand how to do it because you understand the numbers. If you had something happen in this area of your life, had to make an insurance claim, anything like that, you would know exactly where to go, what to look for. If you were like, man, I don't, where are my ID cards, or when does my coverage end, or whatever, all you have to do is walk over, open it up, and be like, dang, look at that right there. Okay, I still have a month. That's good. Your registration. Everybody registers a vehicle. Like your weekly cost to register that vehicle, monthly, annual, what the mill rate is, your plate number, who's registered on that vehicle, where to go to get renewals, what town or city this is done in, all kinds of interesting information. Your local DMV address, email, phone number, anything you need to know. Just look here. You don't have to search. Don't even search. All your information. Do this once a year. Once a year registration. Do it once a year. Okay, you're gonna have the information at your fingertips all year. Let's get into vehicles. We have maintenance. Who are your mechanics? Are your mechanics, do you know who you would call if you had a particular issue? Do you have a mechanic that's good at bodywork? Do you have a mechanic that's good at oil changes? Do you have one that's good at wheel bearings and brakes? So just put them down, put down their cost. What do they charge for these services? If you have this issue, who are you going to call, and likely what's it going to cost? You got to form a budget. You need a maintenance budget. You need to be in control of your money. Stop getting surprised. Stop feeling anxious about that aspect of your life. Don't do it. A maintenance budget. So what would a typical maintenance budget look like for an everyday person's car or vehicle? The minimum. I know you don't want to admit that your vehicle has a maintenance schedule and it costs X amount of dollars a year, but it does. Just accept it and then take responsibility for it. Like lube services. How many miles are you going to put on it? How many miles until you get an oil change? 3,000 miles? Okay, are you putting 10,000 miles in a vehicle? You're probably going to have about three to four oil changes per year based on your usage. What's that cost? Three oil changes, okay? Fuel system service offered for a reasonable rate. Should you do it once a year? Get a fuel. This is mine. 3 oil changes, 1 fuel system service. Just clean that baby out for me. Thank you. I don't need to do the work myself. I don't need to concern myself about the maintenance of my vehicle. You guys do this stuff every day. You just maintain my stuff and we'll be good. Air filter. Just putting one on a year. I'm keeping it real. It's $12.50. Good enough. Done. It's gonna keep my vehicle running fresh. You know what I'm saying? Wipers. I'm gonna get a set of wipers a year. I'm gonna trash one set. Accept it. Brakes. Yeah, every couple years I'm doing a full brake job. Okay? Accept it. Full service detailing. Getting the interior scrubbed out. Getting the exterior waxed up. Take care of your vehicle. Just have it done once a year. If your kids are animals and they completely destroy your vehicle, have it professionally detailed once a year. You're going to have the best product ever. When someone comes to buy it and they're like, dang, this is clean. You did an excellent job upkeeping this vehicle. That's because I had it detailed. I didn't scrub it out myself. Come on, I have so many more important things to do. If someone does that for a living, that's their game, man. They're making vehicles shine. Good for them. That's their job. Just do your job. If that's not your job, do your job. Pay someone to do that job. Tire rotation, actually putting tires on your vehicle. Car washes, air freshener allowance. Man, just once a month, buy a 3-pack of trees. Every 3 months, buy a 3-pack of trees. I mean, I don't care. Just if you put all the details in, I know those seem insignificant. If you put all the details in, you're gonna have a general picture of a budget amount, which mine was a little over $100 a month. Can you believe that? That your maintenance cost to run a vehicle, basic, not a piece of crap, censored, not a piece of crap, just a general maintenance of vehicles, probably gonna spend up to $100 a month. Admit that to yourself. And then when you set that money aside, you don't have as much heartburn about getting the things done. You're creating an account for it. That's why my product that goes into, managing your finances has a lot to do with just understanding each area, planning an amount for it, and then executing that plan by tracking your spending. It's not as complicated as you might think. And you just need to accept that when you have the ability to focus in a very specific way on an idea broken into other bits, broken into 5 to 15, 20 categories per one idea, whether that be a vehicle, a home, your personal finances, your health management, your business endeavors, your food that you make in your household, your child's life with school schedules, extracurricular sports, general entertainment, your whole, your household's general entertainment, whether that be movies and doing, all the little things that you do. Just identify it and then use things like goal masters and routine builders to reinforce everything you're trying to do, to start building the habits you want to build, because your destiny is yours to build. The sooner you accept that right now all you need to do is start writing your program on how to live by just building basic routines and understanding where you can spend money and get things done in today's society, you can really exercise some control, and you are moving with purpose. You need to understand how you are going to provide value, how you're going to increase the value you provide to your fellow citizens in your community. Community is where it all stems from, and then if you can apply that across the board, we have the internet at our fingertips. Everywhere, we can literally reach out across countries, across states, and connect with people and provide value to them by looking very closely at the most basic and important parts of our lives that we can provide value to another person with, whether that be through a specific product or a way of thinking, but want it to be practical, useful, and people creating the record of their life, not thinking about it, being in the presence of that feeling, and then moving on. Once you've moved on, it's all but lost. You can refer back to it within your own memory, but when you make these things you care about into physical areas and have a physical relationship, write things down, interact with these areas of your life, it's definitely something different. So going back to the show I watched, it was like the history that was being built was from writing it down, recording it, having a relationship to that physical thing to other people, being able to relate to that thing, in taking your thoughts, putting them into reality, not having a thought and having it fall into the past. Build the record. There's so far we can go with this. Anyway, I have a place to be. I can't stay longer. So many exciting things going on every day. Not falling off. I'll be back. Thanks for joining.